Okay, so Chrissy, one of the things that I've been complimented with is the fact that I have a Stuttering John impression that sounds nothing like Stuttering John, yet it's a good impression. Uh, you've been given that same gift as well, where we don't sound anything like him,
No.
but it's considered good. So I'm going to ask you a serious question as Stuttering John. So if
Okay.
you could answer back as such. All right.
Okay.
Cut the drink first to get out of the way.
Oh, wait, hold on. I brought a high noon.
Okay, well, so Chrissy, the other day I was checking your Twitter, and you said that you were having problems with YouTube. What's these issues you've been having?
Oh, it's the trolls. The trolls are attacking my YouTube. I don't understand. I got a strike from a video I did back
I
in
get
July,
trolled.
but they're striking it now. The trolls must have reached out to the algorithm. They were able to upload and download. I don't know. All I know is I'm going to be suing a lot of people.
Yeah, but the thing about YouTube, though, what I gotta say is that recently it's just become impossible to operate. Yeah,
Sometimes my episodes, they just disappear. I don't know what happens.
yeah.
Some people think I'm just taking them down, but I don't understand YouTube. They just
You can't even say ass on YouTube anymore, and you get done.
there's so many trolls working for YouTube.
Yeah, they make me look like I'm stupid on that. But
They ran out of course, so I had to buy a high noon.
yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, what kind of Christmas is it not until you risk diarrhea live on the air 24/7?
What kind of my Christmas wish is no more roaches?
Yeah, who my Christmas wish is two beautiful wives for both of my son and my daughter's son. Well, and more on that later, but no, but yeah, because I've seen that you weren't able to stream the content house because of YouTube.
Right. I got a strike the Monday night, and our content house live stream, 48-hour live stream, is supposed to begin Thursday evening. And whenever you get a strike on YouTube, you can't stream for a week. So I got boned, and it was really nerve-wracking because I was like, oh wow, we're so fucked. Like we're gonna just lose everything. We're gonna lose a sponsor. Everything's fucked. But we ended up being able to stream to Compound Media's YouTube, and I have some connections for guys that helped me get set up on Rumble very quickly. So that was very fortunate. And now I have I'm also streaming on Rumble now too. So I feel like ultimately when hardships come your way, you just have to like work through them, and then ultimately you'll end up better than when you started. Cause I ended up with more YouTube subscribers, more Twitter subscribers, everything went up, after these issues. So
Yeah,
guess people are
that's
noticing.
yeah, it's the crazy thing because one of my side jobs is that I edit for this sports show called Keeping It 100, and and it's
Kitten?
huh?
Kitten 100?
That's actually a good idea for my cute side. There you go. But with it's a sports show, and every month YouTube sends out their new policy updates. So now you can't use body parts in certain stuff because there's so much money that can be made from YouTube. But I think they want to make it really difficult for you. Like even I just
Yeah.
heard of a guy called Simon Miller, I think is his name. He was a personal trainer guy who just get demonetized for sexual content because he was showing.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like, but he's a fucking trainer. Like, what it's supposed to look like?
Then yeah. The more people from YouTube I speak with, the more it can just be like algorithmic unfriendliness. Like I thought that unless you get to 300K subscribers, nobody gives a fuck who you are. It's more like once you get to a million. If you're under a million, I imagine they don't really give a fuck who you are one way or the other. So I don't know. I don't know whether to like take this YouTube strike personally. It's so easy to take it personally though, because like it was horrible timing. It was right before this huge stream, and especially with like your personal trainer guy. It's like this is what I do, but maybe there's more to be learned about like the categorization of your content that you put out. Like you have to specify that it's artistic use or fucking, I don't know, informational or documentary. I don't know. There's so much I don't know.
Well, that was a foul word that you used there, and you've just ruined Christmas for everyone.
Oh no.
But speaking of foul, I've got to ask you about this guy, and of course, you've never been asked about him before. Stuttering John. I know what you're thinking. Oh, finally, I get the chance to talk about him on the air. But there's a show I also do called Gap My Go, and it's basically a smaller version of WATP before we knew WATP existed. And we just did an episode of Stuttering John that I think it's the biggest one we've had ever. And everybody who puts up a clip about Stuttering John or talks about him on the show is getting maybe not like an enormous audience, but they're getting like way more views, way more interactions than they ever would. All because you said the word dabble.
Yeah.
That one word crazy. Saved us all.
It's pretty crazy. I really stepped in it and with him. Like I just was that interview. I really was just trying to do the best I could to get to know him. And the first half of the interview went great because we're talking about his glory days, like when he was at the best peak of his life on all areas. And then I just was like, oh yeah, like, do you think Trump has been good for stand-up? Because you're kind of doing stand-up. Like I knew that he wasn't doing it a lot because I never saw his name on any marquee of any place I was performing. So it's like, and I'm like in here, you know what I mean? Like I figured if he's much more famous than me, performing more often, like I'm going to see his name everywhere I go. And I wasn't. So I was like, I know that you're dabbling in stand-up. And he took that as such an insult. And then I later realized like he went into doing my show like it was this big favor to me. Like I had to be so honored that he graced my channel with his presence that I guess I was going to get this huge Stuttering John bump just from even having him on the show, which I didn't realize that. I guess I didn't show him as much like deference. I guess he was expecting somebody to like fanboy out over him, but I just was like gonna treat him like anybody else.
Yeah, but have you heard the latest that's going on with Stuttering John?
He's moving, right? Or he sold his place?
Allegedly, but I've also heard that his YouTube channel was demonetized.
Uh-oh. YouTube! There's trolls at YouTube.
Where are they going to take away my fame? I was going to be in Mission Impossible.
But they took away my money.
They're robbing me blind. But apparently, because Carl hilariously nicknamed Kevin, which is a genius piece of comedy, he had said that because Stuttering John had gone offline, he hadn't been on YouTube or anything, that he had heard he'd gone into rehab, but then Stuttering John has since been photographed, believe it or not, you're going to be shocked by this.
At the bar.
Yeah, drinking in the pub.
I saw that photo, yeah.
He looked great, looked like that guy works out. But one of the things I've got to say about John that I think's genuinely worrying, and it's beyond like, and all joking aside, his forehead has changed shape in the last 2 years. Yeah, because he used to have like big cartoony eyes, but now he sort of talks like this, and it's like his face is starting to fold in.
Uh-oh. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah, and it really is a case
medical
of like,
reason for this.
Yeah, but I think it's just this decades and decades of beers, and then allegedly
his body's giving up on him.
Yeah, nose beers, I'm sure, doesn't help either.
No, a nose beer.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, and all joking aside, I think he needs to seriously check into rehab, because I love making fun of him, but I don't want him to fucking die.
No, I don't want him to die either. I want him to live as long as possible so we can keep creating content out of him.
But what do you think about he's doing, the fact that he's sued Kevin from WATP? Sorry, just being hilarious.
Kevin from Why Do I Podcast?
Yeah. What's his name? Mo from the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah. He does that cute thing where he pretends to not know names of people.
But that's because he's so cool.
Right. He's very
cool, like
he
has the coolest collection of VHSs you're ever going to see.
Yeah, I guess apparently he was taking his videos off of his YouTube channel, like not keeping them up. Maybe he thinks that's an attempt to keep people from commenting on his content at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I just hope that whatever he does, that he stays healthy and alive so that we have years more fucking material to come, because it really is. It's a lot like he's the podcast version of Michael Jackson. Said, how's he going to fuck up next? And how's he going to top the previous fuck up? I still think we're going to see him eat shit.
Because similar to Michael Jackson, we have been seeing Stuttering John's skin color change over time.
Right. And but also the thing about Michael Jackson was that he was a massive hypocrite. And he was all peace and love, but he was also fist the kids. And with Stuttering John, and it's not to get political at Christmas time, but I think he's the perfect example of the hypocrisy and the double standards of these liberal Democrats, because he's supposed to be all woke and all this shit, but when he was on your show, he didn't see you as the host or a fellow comedian. He's like, oh, it's a chick. I can have sex with chicks.
When you're gonna be in California, I will take you to the Bigwig pub and buy you a course, and we can hang out. I don't know.
Yeah. So, Chrissy, when it comes to politics and all that stuff, do you wear thongs?
Ew.
That's the kind of that's what. Yeah, I would if I was a lady and if my Christmas presents go well, I will be soon. I don't think that a woman would be safe around him, because he's the type of like, what do you mean you don't want to suck my dick in the middle of the parking lot?
I'm Stuttering John. I was on the Tonight Show.
Yeah, I met fucking Jim Carrey. Suck my dick.